The Trixster here. How do? Batsley, what do we have for today?
Oh, a real bummer. Whoop-de-doo Goldberg.
Okay. Great the view. A ever-evolving panel of fools and morons, mostly with a hard left slant, with the great exception of one never-Trumper in McCain. These people really have nothing to offer, but they're fun to watch. It's an instructive lesson, and I think one of the things you can get out of this as we move into the Whoopi Goldberg segment here later on is just how a liberal argues. I think it's really an interesting case study in liberal arguments and how they support their arguments. So why don't we dive right in?
We are back with Judge Jeanine Pirro. I wanted to get into the book a little. You tackle the anti-Trump conspiracy in your new book called Liars, Leakers, and Liberals. Now, that title could be offensive to some.
In today's age, you think?
I thought she was describing the Trump White House. Liars, leakers, and liberals.
Just take a look at her face. I mean, I don't know what her name is. Just look how pissed off she is already. That's a typical snarky liberal. Already mad as hell. And the judge is laughing like, okay, that's a funny joke, whatever. It's not really funny because there's no truth in it. I mean, she brings up the Trump White House. What, liars? Well, Trump's probably one of the most honest candidates ever. Whatever he promised to do, he's done it, is in the process of doing it, or tried to do it and was stopped by Congress. So he's a very honest candidate, so he's no liar. Leaks? The leakers are all from the deep state. They're Democrats and never-Trumpers. So that's not true. And then you go on and listen to her last point, liberals. Obviously, Trump isn't a liberal. If he's a liberal, she'd be smiling from ear to ear. But just look at that face. So pissed off. Unbelievable. I love it. Look at that smile. Like she's not even willing to accept the judge even laughed at her joke. And she's so smug, so arrogant.
About the title and why you wrote the book.
Well, I wrote the book because I'm not an ideologue. I mean, I have been in the crime business for over 3 decades, and I think I said that before. And I know a con when I see it. And I think that what has happened in the last,
I love the SEALs in the audience, like they're like laughing a little, like she's been conned. No, you people have been conned by the Democrat Party.
Fake investigations, fake counterintelligence. You saw it yourself with Peter Strzok, who comes out and basically says he hates the president and he's going to take care of everything. They then go to a judge and get a warrant. That's a problem for me, and it should be a problem.
Can I ask you? You just said
the warrant. Look, I've been a judge. I've signed those things. The warrant was based on a fake document by an opposing candidate in a national presidential race. This is what happens in third world countries.
It was not only based on that, and you know that.
It was not only based on that, and you know it. Okay, what else was it based on? Can you give us any examples? I didn't think so.
No, I'm not. I am in law enforcement.
Let me ask you the question.
It's right and wrong.
Do you think Donald Trump embraces and embodies conservative ideology?
Honestly, what do you care? Now you expect us to believe that you're very concerned with how conservative Donald Trump is? I don't think so.
Remember, he used to be have a different position on pro-choice. He's imposing tariffs. He's against globalism. Do you think he is an ideologue that is faithful to conservative policies?
No, he's an ideologue that's focused on policies that are going to improve America. That's what he's an ideologue on, and that's what every American politician should be an ideologue on.
You want to talk about Donald Trump? You tell me what metric in this country is worse off.
Judge, Your Honor, they won't be able to tell you that because most of the metrics are much better.
Unemployment is lower than it's been in 50 years. Minorities, Hispanics, African Americans have jobs when they haven't had.
Did someone just sort of say there in that mix, it's because of President Obama? Oh my God. You want to talk about being disassociated from reality? Right here you have case example number 1, the yo-yos on The View. Yes, I'm quite sure that as employers tried to shed employees to get below the magic number for Obamacare, it was a real boon for the employment statistic.
GDP under Obama was barely 1. We're going up to 4.
Need some ice for that burn, lefties?
Important, as we said, 89% of the Republican Party still supports him. He still has huge popularity in the country, and if Democrats don't get their you-know-what together, he's certainly going to get reelected.
Here's my question for you. Here's my question for you, because you talk about you talk about.
I am not, Judge.
Nobody is.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just point at me?
Liberal tactic 1, become indignant. Oh my God, did you just point at me? Oh, I'm so important. No one can ever point at me. Look at yourself. You're pointing at yourself, you moron.
Listen, I don't have Trump derangement. Let me tell you what I have.
Okay.
I have I'm tired of people starting a conversation with Mexicans or liars and rapists.
Liberal tactic 2, throw out a red herring that's full of crap. Nobody starts a conversation that way. Nobody. I've never, ever heard anyone I know or anyone ever start a conversation with that statement. Nobody does that. And yet, based upon what she's putting forth, we're expected to believe this is like a commonplace occurrence. Like, people are around the water cooler just busting out that to start their conversation. What nonsense. What garbage. There's no proof of any of that.
I'm tired of people starting a conversation about this country.
Liberal tactic 3, amp up emotion to generate outrage. Listen to her statement. I'm tired of people starting a conversation about this country. Isn't that what you do every day? Are you tired of yourself? What a dumb statement. I mean, she just gets all amped up and the audience gets into it. And this is liberals. They're creatures of emotion. They don't think about facts or logic. It's irrelevant. Don't let the logic get in the way of their fantasies. Please, never.
Listen, I'm 62 years old. There have been a lot of people in office that I didn't agree with, but I have never, ever seen anything like this. I've never seen anybody whip up such hate.
Obviously hasn't seen anything recent from Maxine Waters.
I've never seen anybody be so dismissive. And clearly you don't watch the show, so you don't know that I don't suffer from that. What I suffer from is the inability to figure out how to fix this. That's my issue, but...
what is it you want to fix? Us having more respect and standing in the world? Low unemployment rates? Our border patrol actually being respected? Our border laws and immigration laws actually being respected? Major investments into the country? What is it you want to fix? I could go on and on and on with this man's successes. What are you looking to fix? You're not looking to fix anything. You're looking to bring back the same dumb liberal policies that caused all these problems in the first place. And as far as fixing goes, it looks like you're struggling even to get a sentence out, so don't worry about fixing anything. We'll leave that to the adults, thanks.
One of the things that you talk about a lot, and I'm curious about it, is the deep state. How long has the deep state been there, and who's running it?
Well,
Ooh, a bonus. Liberal tactics 4 and 5 right together. First, change the subject. And second, ask a question that, boy, if they can't name every last person that's part of the deep state, all 25 or 30,000 or however many there are, then there is no deep state. And then she looks at the camera, like pines for the camera, like, look at this, look what I just laid down. So the judge wants to stick to Socratic rules and principles and answer the topic that was up for discussion initially until it's been completely vetted. But liberals never like that, because once you completely vet a topic, you pretty much find out they're full of bullshit. But allow me, Judge, to answer Whoopi, if you would. So let me see, how long has the deep state been there, and who's running it? You may have remembered, Whoopi, because you were alive at the time, I was not, when Eisenhower warned us about the deep state. Who's running it? Well, it's running itself. It's a very large group of government bureaucrats that are unelected, but whose policies have the same weight and effect of law, like the EPA, the FBI, the ATF. There's a whole series of government entities there that, quite frankly, are out for their own interest. And then you have the lobbyists on K Street in Washington, who spend their whole day trying to figure out how to get congressmen and other people to provide benefits to their big companies. So it's a series of government agencies and big companies. Nobody can name everybody and anyone that's in the deep state. But it's there, Whoopi. It's something that Eisenhower pointed out many years ago, and it's gotten bigger than just the government military complex. It's gotten into IT, it's gotten into energy, it's gotten into everything, and the proof that it's there is all the lobbyists on K Street and all these government organizations that act in their own best interest and not necessarily the best interest of the American people, and they are largely unelected. There is your answer, Whoopi. Nobody's going to give you the name of each and every person that composes this. Some people are in the deep state or serving the deep state, and they don't even know they are. They're just low-level bureaucrats or lower-level people in whatever government agency it may be, and they're doing a fine job. I get it. But they don't understand they're serving the interests of higher-ups that are politically aligned and are members of the deep state. There you have it, Whoopi. Why don't you go look up an old Eisenhower clip? He can explain it to you far, far better than anyone else.
I want to answer your question because you
didn't actually ask you a question.
You had your opening statement, which was how horrible it is that Donald Trump is talking about
that's
all
what you,
of these
I'm
people.
sorry,
You know what
that's
I
what
think
you
is
said.
horrible?
You said,
Whoopi, you know what's horrible?
that
When
it
people
was,
who
it's
shouldn't
okay.
be
Liberal tactic number 6, pontificate for as long as you care to, and then when the other person wants to come back and respond to what you pontificated on, interrupt them and shout them down.
here end up murdering the children of American citizens.
You know what's horrible?
What's horrible
when the president
is
of the
we
United
fund
States
sanctuary
whips up
cities.
people to beat
You know,
the hell out of people.
Most of the violence is coming from the left, right? Anyone whipping people up, it's Maxine Waters, right? Go out and intimidate people, get after them. I don't see Trump saying, go out and intimidate people and get after them and whatever. He may say, hey, the press is fake news. I think he's being kind. I think they're actually propagandists. But the reality is the left is the one with the violence. Who's Antifa? That's all left wing. They're the ones out there breaking stuff right on inauguration day, burning cars, attacking people that have rallies for which they have permits for, doing $100,000 of damage at Berkeley, stopping anybody they disagree with from speaking. I mean, they're acting like brown shirts. It's funny. They're an anti-fascist organization that uses fascist tactics. It's unbelievable. And Whoopi has the nerve to say, he's whipping up here to people to beat the hell out of people. Bullshit. That's Antifa.
To beat the hell out of people.
No.
Say goodbye.
I'm done.
And now liberal tactic number 7. Kick a person out. Throw them out of the room. End the conversation because you can't handle it because you know you're wrong. So you shut it down.
Welcome back. So you saw me do something I very rarely do. I very rarely lose my cool, and I'm not proud of it. I don't like it. But I also don't like being accused of being hysterical because that's one of the things I try not to be on this show.
All right. So Whoopi comes back. The judge is no longer there. I guess she's been thrown out. She comes out here and says, I don't like losing my cool. I rarely lose my cool. I doubt it. I think Whoopi Goldberg loses her cool a lot. And I don't like being called hysterical. Well, you're just hysterical in the last 4 minutes with the judge. I mean, you were completely hysterical. So the idea you don't like being called hysterical is kind of silly because you are hysterical.
So, have a great day.
Go enjoy the view.
Yeah. Thank you to Anna Navarro. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. Take a little time to enjoy the view. Bye.
Is that an apology? Of course not. That's the left. You can do whatever you want, and there's no consequences. If you're on the conservative side of the coin, you step one word out of line and they try and ruin your entire career. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is. It's disgusting. But why don't we find out what Whoopi said after the show to the judge, shall we?
I go down the stairs and she's right there. And I said something like, Whoopi, you know, I spent my whole life fighting for victims because we had talked about rapes and all that. And she said to me, as she got up in my face, and I read somewhere someone said, well, you should have kept walking. I couldn't walk by her.
She should have kept walking. You know, someone said that. Why do we always have to cede ground to these crazies? I mean, I just want to make that point here. Why do we always have to cede ground to these nutcases?
She was at the bottom of the stairs. She says, F you, F you. And then I said, did you just say F you? And then she said, get the F out of this building, get the F out of this building. So I'm there and I'm like, okay.
And you didn't do anything to provoke anybody there?
No, you can ask the people that I was with. I mean, she was nuts going off the set. And then when I walked down, and so as I started walking out the building, so this woman is yelling behind me, get the F out of this building.
Are you sure, Judge? I mean, Whoopi told us she doesn't get hysterical. Are you sure she was just dropping unrelenting F-bombs on you? I mean, of course she was. You know, of course she was. Look, I wasn't there, so I can't definitively say if Whoopi was carrying on that behavior, but I believe the judge. Honestly, I believe the judge based on the behavior on the set. And, there you have it. There's, tactic number 7, I guess. I can't remember the last tactic, but tactic 7, I think. Just intimidation, right? Intimidation. Screaming at you, dropping F-bombs. It's just a sign of a person with a very weak argument. And if Whoopi is anything, she's that. Trixster out. Batsley, keep the lights on.
You got it, Trixster. Hey, if you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more, kick us a couple bucks on our Patreon site. The link's in the description below. Or you can buy some slick Trixster gear at the link in the description below. You can get a t-shirt or a sweet hoodie, or you can even take your morning cup of joe in one of our coffee mugs. Help us out and keep capitalism in America alive. Later.
And as always, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Trixster out.